Alright, what's up, YouTubers? I am in the garage and just shooting a little fish porn here. I now have all of my koi and goldfish transferred into this tank. It was in the indoor before. And kind of going through my rebuild process here in the garage now that the outdoors sort of set up and going. So I have a couple of these shelves here I'm working on, and eventually that area back there will be all closed off. And I have two of these shelves that I'm going to rig up with veg and cloning systems, and then in between I will be sealing everything off so that I can flower. So about half of these fish will go into the other side in the rack just like this. And yeah, these are the same U siphons, or flex siphons, or external siphons, or loop siphons, or whatever the hell you want to call them. I got them set up. This is the tank that the catfish used to be in, and they're now outside. And I didn't really clean it or anything. I did have to drain all the water out of it in order to move it, and then just filled it with water from the other tank. Some of the koi are getting really big, as you can see. Some of them I had for a couple years now. Some pretty cool looking ones. Kids really like them. I took the front off of this part over here so that we can see through the side of the tank. I had this all covered up, but there's so little light down here, I'm not concerned about it. I left it on the back and on the sides mostly, just to be able to see the fish a little better. Alright. And here you can see the siphon getting ready to build up and take off. So you can see there, that's just the flood and drain adapter, an elbow. Comes over. Water fills up to the top of this. So right now, you can see it's not pressurized, so that means it's only above this part. When it gets above this part, it'll start the siphon, which should happen here just about any time now. This is also how I get oxygen into the tank, so I don't use any air stones. And what you have to do is, you can see kind of a little notch cut in there. What I do is basically just cut a strip on both sides to where I can pinch it together a little bit so that the outlet is not round, and then you'll get a lot more aeration out. Otherwise, if it's perfectly round when it hits the water, then when the siphon turns on full blast, it doesn't produce nearly as many air bubbles. So you'll see when it kicks off here what I'm talking about. You can see the other one over there is doing the same thing. Check out the fish while we're waiting. I could let this trigger faster by turning up the water flow, but if you turn it up too much, then it has trouble turning off. So you just kind of have to find a happy medium. It has to be fast enough to start, but slow enough to be able to stop. So there's a little window in there that you have to hit. See the bubbles in the tank there. So I prefer to have the siphon take a little while to start. The bed spends a little bit more time with water completely full in it, and leaves you a little bit more room for air. Of course, now that I'm recording it, it seems like it takes forever for it to start. I'm sure it's about the same though. This 3/4 inch pipe is a little different than the 2-inch pipe as well. It doesn't drain quite as fast as the outdoor one does, because it's a 2-inch drain, obviously. There it goes. So now you can see when it's running full blast, the smaller bubbles that are getting formed down there as well. If you don't do this part, and it's perfectly round when it hits the water, just like a diver, it doesn't splash, and it will just fill up without really breaking the surface of the water too much. And you can really improve the amount of air you get into the tank just by trimming that in just a little bit. So I highly recommend doing that. This one over here is the same way, you can see. So there you go, a little preview of the garage. Getting some things moved around and set up. So, alright, have a good one.